cartoon catchy or what? Hey, filmed right over the secret underground dumps where they keep the pools of old poison gas and the obsolete germ bombs. This is Cup of Joe, your number one stop for Angels baseball history. We want to thank you guys for showing up again, and thank you for supporting the channel. We really appreciate it. Yeah, it looks like another episode today of this week with a beautiful Monday morning, a very cooled off Monday morning. God, what a hot weekend, huh? Just a taste of what's coming up next. I don't know about that 90-degree weather, the mid-high 90s. I'm up by the foothills, so I really got a taste of it. And whew, don't miss it. Don't look forward to it, but it will happen, so I'm going to have to deal with it. Before we get started with the great Mike Witt, we want to do a shout-out and to our Halos in the Infield super fan, Mr. L. Arnold. I want to thank you, L. Arnold, for being, first of all, so kind, and for my dog appreciates you as well, but for sending me this baseball cap of the Tri-City Dust Devils. Take a look at this thing. How cool is that, huh? Let me get that in there. Look at that logo. What an awesome logo. I know you guys know what this is. The Tri-City Dust Devils, or their minor league baseball team based out of Pasco, Washington. Pasco. And they are the high A affiliate of the Los Angeles Angels. So awesome cap, all navy blue all the way around with this cool logo with a very determined and aggressive Dust Devil. Look at that guy. He's just ready to come at you. I love that logo. What a great hat. L. Arnold, sir, I thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh, man. Anyway, we're going to head on to next with our history for today, which is going to be about Mr. Mike Witt, pitcher of the California Angels in the early mid-'80s. Man, what are the Angels doing right now? What are we, 16-23? God, a bad start. This is back in a time when the Angels had a little bit more of a solid team, well-rounded team, if you will, where they actually had hopes of going to the playoffs and doing certain things, or postseason, I should say, and making some noise. Now, of course, we fell short that year, but there was hopes, there were dreams. We were good. There was something to cheer for. So, different time. God, hopefully those times come again. I would really appreciate it because it's fun when the Angels win. Let me tell you, or it's fun when they're good, I should say. We always want them to win the whole thing, the big dance. And we did that one year. My dog again agrees. I don't know why she's barking. It's time for her beating. She knows I'm recording. Anyway, let's move on. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mike Witt. Look at that. Look at that man. Look at that mustache. I'm thinking of just shaving the beard and going mustache again. What do y'all think? Should I do the Mike Witt mustache? I can do it. I think I might do it. That's a good look, especially with that angel cap. Leave a comment below if you think I should. Let's not talk Angels talk. Let's talk about Halo Joe's mustache. Mike Witt of the California Angels. Oh, boy. Good times. Well, he tossed a perfect game against the Texas Rangers at Arlington Stadium on September 30th, 1984. It would be the 11th perfect game in Major League Baseball history. Now, just a quick stat to give you an idea of how rare perfect games are. Since 1876, there have been over 237,000 games officially recognized by Major League Baseball. Only 24 have been perfect games. Now that is really something cool. And there goes my dog screaming. That's another little dog I have. I'm thinking of getting rid of my dogs. What do you think? I really can't stand them. They make so much noise. They really bother me. There she goes again. She hears me. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, boy. On the final day of 1984 Major League Baseball season, both the Angels and the Rangers had already been eliminated from the playoffs. And well, because of that, 8,375 people were in attendance. The Rangers pitcher was Charlie Howe, who threw a complete game and allowed only one unearned run. I'm going to say Howe because Howe didn't sound good. Of the 27 batters Witt faced, only a few threatened to reach base. Larry Parrish from the Rangers hit a ground ball that forced third baseman Doug DeCinces to make a barehanded throw in the fifth inning. Parrish also hit a long fly out in the eighth inning, which we'll get into again later on. So there was some worry there, but we pulled through. Mike Witt was drafted by the California Angels, by the way, in 1978. And let's see here. and was made. He made the opening day roster in 1981. So he finished 5th in the Rookie of the Year voting and put up respectable stats in his first 2 years as both a starting pitcher and long reliever. The 1983 Angels were expected to compete for the World Series. How nice is that? But underperformed. And Mike had his worst season with a win-loss record of 7-14 and a 4.91 ERA. Pitching coach Marcel Lachman insisted Witt played in the Venezuelan Professional Baseball League during the offseason to hone in on his skills, and also visited a hypnotist to improve his concentration while pitching. Hey, we should pass some of this on to our pitching coach today, right? I think this might work. Well, this did work. And in 1984, Mike Witt had his best season, finishing 15-11 with a 3.47 ERA. His 223 strikeouts were third most in the American League that year. Very impressive. Yeah, I think, man, if we were to do something a little different like that for our pitch, I wonder if there's anything that has not been reported that the pitching coaches have done with our pitching to see if they can get into the mental. Because what's the percentage of the mental ability of being a pitcher? I mean, God, what, 98%? It's all mental, right? 2% are skills. But yeah, it's mostly mental, and you know, it looks like mentally we're just not there. And we also have a problem with hitting too as well. I think hitting is also an issue and is also a mental issue as well. We're a mentally disabled team. Anyway, moving on. So through the first 3 innings, Witt was awesome. He's striking out 4 of the first 9 batters. After an uneventful 4th inning, Larry Parrish led off with in the 5th inning for the Rangers with a bouncing ground ball to third baseman Doug DeCinces. Oh, I used to love Doug DeCinces, who fielded the ball barehanded and threw Parrish out at first base. Awesome. DeCinces later said at the time it was a nice play, no big deal. But as you look back on it, you thought, wow, that could have been the difference. Through 6 innings, the game remained scoreless. Howe, I'm going to say Howe, was pitching well, allowing just 3 hits so far. At the top of the 7th inning, DeCinces led off for the Angels with a single and advanced to second base on a pass ball. 2 batters later, Reggie Jackson, number 44, hit into a fielder's choice and allowed DeCinces to score the only run of the game due to the pass ball. Howe was credited with an unearned run in the bottom of the 7th inning. Witt was in danger of walking Wayne Tolleson, who had a count of 3 balls and no strikes. Witt assumed Tolleson was not going to swing at the next 2 pitches and threw 2 strikes. After the second strike, Witt walked halfway towards Tolleson in an attempt to intimidate him. On the next pitch, Tolleson grounded out to second baseman Rob Wilfong. Many fans of the stadium began to realize Witt was pitching a perfect game. Witt's wife, Lisa, was there. And although she didn't know what a perfect game was, she did know her husband was pitching a no-hitter. So we go into the 8th inning, and Parrish, he was the thorn in our side in this game. He was the only one hitting. Parrish of the Rangers hit a long fly ball that Witt knew was going to be a home run, but all for naught when Mike Brown caught it at the warning track. Witt went back to work and struck out the next 2 batters and took the perfect game into the 9th inning. Can you imagine your heart up in your throat when that ball was hit, looking like it was about to go out and end everything? Whew. After another strikeout from Tom Dunbar, Witt induced a ground out from pinch hitter Bobby Jones. The final out came on ground out from pinch hitter Marv Foley in what was the last at-bat of his career. The game lasted 1 hour and 49 minutes, and Witt had thrown 94 pitches. Let's see here. So, yeah, I mean, she's 94 pitches. You don't even hear that anymore nowadays. These guys are pulled out in the 5th inning, if we're lucky, 5th inning, 6th inning. So according to ESPN, Witt threw 55 curveballs, 37 fastballs, and 2 changeups. Of the 27 batters he faced, Witt struck out 10 and had a game score of 97. Very, very impressive. After the final out, Witt's his teammates attacked him at the pitcher's mound. Of course, they just mobbed him and in celebration after what he's accomplished. In a post-game interview, Witt admitted that even though he knew he was throwing a perfect game as early as the 4th inning, he was still focused on winning the game. There's a cool picture here of him shaking hands with the great Reggie Jackson, which I was a huge fan of when I was a kid. I had his jersey and everything. I one time showed up to, I was in elementary school, and I showed up in complete Angels uniform, cap, Reggie Jackson jersey, everything. I was ready to go. Went to school like that. I chose that to be my clothes for the day, and I was completely made fun of and shot down by all the damn Dodger fan kids that were there. But that's, I mean, we all have that story, right? But I was a big Reggie Jackson fan. Really, really cool. But yeah, so there's a really cool picture of him shaking hands with Mike after them celebrating, walking off the field. The Rangers manager, Doug Rader, complained that the Rangers players were affected by the glare of the sun and that they had a hard time seeing pitches. No one could see the son of a bitch, he said. I quote him. But I'm not saying that I'm not saying that to distract from what the kid did. This was no fluke. So at least he said, this wasn't a fluke. It wasn't something that wasn't Mike. The son was helping Mike out. Let's just put it that way. Some Rangers players also complained that the umpire Greg Koss gave Witt too large of a strike zone, and some admitted that they didn't take the game seriously through the first 5 innings. It was the last game. They both weren't making the postseason, so let's just go with the flow and get this game over with, right? So that could have been a factor as well. But Mike Witt was a very, very skilled pitcher, and you don't want to take anything away from him on that, even though all those complaints are there. Keep in mind, this is all coming from the Rangers too. Bunch of complainers. So, yeah, so they were complaining about the umpire. See how the pitcher praised Witt, the opposing pitcher, and said, "I saw Jerry Rose and John Candelaria pitch no hitters, but this was by far the most overpowering. I mean, this was no contest." James Buckley, the author of the book Perfect, the inside story of baseball's 16 perfect games, described Witt's perfect game as arguably the least publicized perfect game since World War II. The perfect game occurred on the final day of the season between two teams who had already been eliminated, while simultaneously an NFL game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Chicago Bears was on. The following day, Dallas newspapers like the Dallas Times-Herald barely mentioned Witt's perfect game, and as a result, many people within the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex were unaware of what had happened. Witt made one television appearance on Good Morning America talking about the game. I'm going to look for that and post that somewhere too. If I can find that, that'd be really cool to take a look at. In 1985, Witt became the ace of the Angels pitching staff, and the following season, Witt finished with a win-loss record of 18-10. The Angels reached the American League Championship Series, but lost to the Boston Red Sox in 7 games. We all remember that one. Witt was an all-star in 1986 and 1987, but his pitching began to worsen, and in 1990, he was traded to the New York Yankees for Dave Winfield. Remember that name. After several injuries and 2 mediocre seasons with the Yankees, Witt retired following the 1993 season. Whenever Witt went into a slump, he rewatched footage of his perfect game and tried to figure out what worked in that game and how to replicate it. Witt finished his career with a win-loss record of 117 and 116 with an ERA of 3.83. Very, very impressive. There you see the man with his red coat on there. You have to really, really, oops, let me get my big mug on the screen there. You have to really appreciate a pitcher like that and how you could command a game that way against other professionals. Perfect no hitters are enough. Perfect games are just incredible, I think. And to be able to put, I mean, we all know the no hitters of Nolan Ryan; those are amazing. A perfect game like this, though, that's something he'll always remember. Something we as fans will always remember, especially if you just learned about it now. And that's just a big deal in the baseball world. If you are a young Angels fan who's only really known about the Angels in the 2000s or and not really experienced anything in the 1990s, 80s, or 70s or before, get in the comments and let me know, what year did you become an Angels fan? what year did you start rooting for this sorry team for today? I'm going to say I was born into it. My parents, my grandparents, they were all Angels fans. They started from when the Angels started, and I was born into this curse. And there's actual baby pictures of me out of the womb, all blue, bloody, with an umbilical cord and an angel cap on my head. So just so you know, I was born when I became really aware and paid attention. I was a little bit older, of course, but yeah, always an Angels fan. But I know that there's a lot of young guys on this channel that watch us and are learning stuff like this for the first time. So if you've never heard of this before, if you've never heard of Mike Witt, or you've never known about this perfect game, I would love to see your comments down below and let me know. It would be good to make me feel good to know that I'm doing a little bit of teaching of some knowledge of the Angels to all of you out there. So I want to thank all of you for that. Let's do a real quick look at our schedule coming up. We've got a 3-game series against the San Diego Dads over there down in San Diego. And I think Todd's going to be down there at the game today, actually. So that's pretty cool. It's a 6:40 p.m. game. The Angels are going to be there. They're going to be there also tomorrow and Wednesday at 6:40 p.m. So if you want to take a trip down to San Diego's so beautiful. The weather is going to be beautiful too this week. So head on down if you can. Go to that nice stadium and check out your Angels. Root for them over there. Hopefully we could pull out a win or two. That'd be nice. And then we're going to go against the dreaded Dodgers in LA, which take your Kevlar vest if you're going over there. We're going to see them we're going to see them Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday at 7:10, Saturday at 6:10, and Sunday at 1:10. So you got a 3-game series against San Diego in San Diego at 6:40, all 3 games, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. And then you got Thursday off, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Dodger Stadium. Friday at 7:10, Saturday at 6:10, Sunday at 1:10. Head on down. Those are 2 local stadiums. You can go be the visiting fan that's irritating everybody there. Try not to get into any fights or get stabbed. But go out there and support your Angels. And man, I hopefully they win for you guys if you are out there. Todd, I hope they win for you, buddy. They can't seem to do it at home, so maybe somewhere else. But anyway, a little bit of a shorter episode today. I want to thank each and every one of you for showing up again this Monday, this beautiful week. It's, like I said, great weather. I'm on vacation, so I'm going to pass out and sleep for the next 4 days and then get my life back together and get back into motion again. So from me, Halo Joe, on the Cup of Joe, to everyone out in the Halos in the Infield universe, the infielders, we like to call all of you listening and watching us. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting. Feel free to ask questions, or if you like something you'd like to see or hear about through Angels history, comment in the comments below. Like the video, please. Click the like button. That really helps us out a lot. That really gets us out there. When people look up LA Angels, you'll see Halos in the Infield pop up. So hit that like button. Get us out there. Get us into that algorithm. And also, just really thank you for being so such loyal fans and such great fans of ours. We don't have all the numbers when it comes to views and stuff like that, like some other Angels pages have, but what we have is solid, and you're all solid. So I want to thank you again. Al Arnold, again, out to you. Thank you, sir. What a super fan you are. And there's so many others who contribute to this channel. Thank you again. And we will see you soon. I'm going to play a little outro here, and we'll be back here again to learn some history next month.
Brought to you by 714 Tickets in Anaheim, your trusted source for Angels tickets at unbeatable prices with no hidden fees. Whether it's home or away, they've got your seat covered. Visit them at 2424 East Catella Avenue, Anaheim, or online at 714tickets.com. Mention HITI and get 10% off your purchase. And Brewheim, Anaheim's premier craft brewery, pouring fresh, locally brewed beers in a welcoming atmosphere for Angels fans and beer lovers alike. Stop by their tap room at 1931 East Wright Circle, Anaheim, or check them out at brewheim.com. Mention HITI and get 10% off your tab. The OC Dugout, your one-stop shop for officially licensed Angels memorabilia, custom jersey framing, and exclusive autograph signings with your favorite players. Visit them at 1928 East Center Street, Anaheim, or online at theocdugout.com. Support the businesses that support Halos in the infield.